All right, welcome back everybody to the deep dive. It's crazy to think about. For the longest time, we always thought oxygen, you need sunlight, right? Photosynthesis, plants, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oxygen, life. That's it. That's the formula.
That's turning everything we thought we knew about oxygen on its head. It's called dark oxygen. And let me tell you, it's got the scientific community buzzing. So, ready to unpack this thing and see why it matters so much? What could it mean for, well, life itself even?
It really flips the script on where life can even, exist. The possibilities.
Totally. Okay, so paint me a picture. What did these researchers actually find?
So picture this. They're down in the deep sea, right? Studying the sediments, measuring oxygen consumption. Now, sunlight doesn't reach these depths, so logically, you'd think oxygen levels would just drop the deeper you go, right?
Makes sense. Less sunlight, less oxygen.
Exactly, but that's not what happened. Instead, the oxygen levels actually went up.
Whoa, wait, up? Seriously?
Yeah, up. Total surprise. So naturally, they had to figure out why. And what they found were these things called polymetallic nodules and metallic sediments.
What now? Break that down for me.
Okay, so imagine these potato-sized lumps, sometimes even bigger, just scattered across the seafloor, and they're packed with all these metals.
Interesting, so not just any rocks down there.
Right. What's special about these nodules is the specific mix of metals. It's like they create this natural battery effect.
Hold on, a battery? What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Batteries have these chemical reactions that create electrical energy, right? Same principle here. These nodules, with their unique metal cocktail, can actually split water molecules.
Ah, like electrolysis.
Bingo! They're splitting water into hydrogen and, you guessed it, oxygen. And that oxygen is then released into the surrounding environment. Boom, you've got these little pockets of oxygen, all in the pitch black depths of the ocean.
Now that's wild. I mean, we always learn about oxygen coming from plants through photosynthesis, but this is happening completely independent of sunlight. What are the implications of that? Especially for how we understand life and its origins.
The mind just starts racing. Think about it. Oxygen is the fuel for complex life, right? So what if, way back when, these nodules pumping out oxygen in the deep ocean were like one of the first sources of this vital element? What if they kickstarted life in those dark depths even before photosynthesis showed up on the scene?
Whoa, almost like a parallel origin story, completely different from what we usually learn about.
Exactly, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. How widespread is this phenomenon? Could there be similar processes happening in other parts of the ocean, other planets even? This finding really throws open the doors to all sorts of possibilities.
And it gets even crazier, right? Because you mentioned these nodules are packed with metals. There's another angle to this whole story.
Yeah, you're talking about deep sea mining, right? These nodules are basically treasure chests full of valuable resources. Companies are definitely eyeing them up.
So a potential resource, that's exciting, but also potentially risky.
It's a tough one, right? On one hand, we have this potential resource, but if these nodules are also creating oxygen and supporting deep sea ecosystems, what happens if we just start ripping them out of the ocean floor?
It's like this double-edged sword. We need to understand the full picture before making any moves. What are the risks here?
Well, think of it this way. These ecosystems, they're delicate, carefully balanced. What if messing with these nodules throws the whole thing off, disrupts oxygen levels, harms the creatures living down there? We need to be cautious.
This one discovery just keeps unfolding, doesn't it? So many new questions. What are the next steps for scientists now that they have this incredible new information?
Well, now it's about digging deeper.
Yeah.
Literally, how do these nodules form in the first place? How long have they been producing oxygen? How does this process interact with the whole ocean ecosystem? It's like peeling back the layers of a mystery. And you know what? I think this is just the beginning.
Totally. I mean, think about it. Life, thriving in the deep ocean, fueled by this dark oxygen. It's like something out of science fiction.
Right. And if it can happen in the most unexpected places on our planet, what does that tell us about the universe? What other kinds of life might be out there in places we always thought were impossible?
I love that. It's this feeling of like anything is possible. It really makes you rethink things, doesn't it? Thanks for taking us on this deep dive into the world of dark oxygen. I'm definitely walking away with a whole new perspective on, well, life itself.
Absolutely. The more we explore, the more we realize just how much we still don't know. It's what makes science so exciting, don't you think?
Totally agree. And you know what? That's a great place to leave it for today. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring.